everyone. You are now watching Talk with Shauna right here on the Fired Up Network Female Empowerment Movement. Now, today we actually have a special show. Today's show is all about music, which is definitely one of my favorite topics. And I'm pleased to have a special guest on the show. He's a good friend, he's a person I work with. His name is Paul Napash. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Hi, Shauna. I'm doing great.
Awesome, awesome. Now, Paul Napash is also known as Paul Starr, is a Cree multi-talented artist, a lifelong musician, and he's not a nominated producer and label founder manager at his own label called Mike and Records, which of course I know very well, who is currently living in Ottawa at the moment. And he has his own in-home studio. So once again, welcome to the show, Paul.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So first off, tell me, my friend, how has your week been going?
Well, it's been very busy. Mostly, I've been working on music, making beats, mixing for other artists. And a good friend of mine, her name is Melody MacArthur, who
Mm,
just released her album called Kismet. And I produced one song and I co-produced with another Cree producer named CJ Gris, who's also on my label.
mm,
Another rap duo, Violent Ground from
mm-hmm.
Kawajikamach, like in Quebec. Right now they live in Montreal, and they bought beats from me last summer, and they sent me back uh, one of their songs, want me to mix, who's also featured Melody.
Amazing. Yes, I've heard of Melody. It's a very good stuff she's doing, and congrats. I know from experience that you were a very good producer and you know what you're doing with your beats. So that's great. Really happy to hear about that. So tell the viewers a little bit more about you. Where are you originally from, and where are you located now?
Okay. I am from the Cree Nation of Gisassabee, which is located in northern Quebec, about 1,400 kilometers north from Montreal. My dad's from there, and my mother's from Ushkagnish, which is about 10 hours from here. Right now, I live in Ottawa with my brother Jeremy.
Very cool. Very cool. Um, so when did you first get involved in the music industry, and was there something specific that inspired your involvement in the music industry?
Well, I started out as a guitarist at the age of 9 or 10. My late grandpa, Luke Diamond, showed me an instructional videotape on how to play guitar. At the time, I didn't really understand English. I only watched the instructor, what he did with his guitar, and that's how I learned. And also, there was a booklet. You could see the chords, chord names, like everything about like how to tune guitar. And
Hmm.
at the same time, he taught me a few chords he learned from the video.
Wow, that's amazing. So that's a cool story. You know, I didn't know that actually. This is something I don't know about you, Paul. That's so cool. Very, very neat. So would you say then that you grew up in a very musical family? Would you say, or
Yeah,
yeah?
that's actually my mom's dad. I was talking about, and my dad is also a musician who can play anything like guitar, bass, drums, violin. And I have cousins who are really into music. My brother Jeremy and I used to have a band in our local community for a couple of years,
Mm,
and we played talent shows, anything like special events. Then we moved to Ushkagnish. Then we used to go on tour with our band, different communities. That at that time our band was called Street Play,
oh,
and
cool. I was gonna ask you that. So you got to you got to. So that's good. That's cool.
Mhm,
Street play. That's a neat name. Cool,
yeah.
cool. Um, so do you write your own music?
Yeah. I started writing my own songs at the age of 13. at that time my English was still not very good. Not, I I just sometimes I would just use that's already existed and kind of like made made my own twist, I would say.
That's cool. So I guess you knew the language of music, which was important, right? And then everything just else kind of came along with it, I guess, right? The
Yeah,
most
exactly.
important one, right? The music language, right? That's cool. So did you attend school, like any professional training in terms of music? If so, where did you study? Did you study anywhere for music or?
Well, not at first, like everything was just informal. Like I learned from
Mm,
books, online, through friends. Then one day I decided to go to school, uh, Algonquin College, and I completed program and graduated from the Music Industry Arts program in 2017. But my grad ceremony like only occurred in 2018 because of pandemic. I mean,
oh,
pandemic.
I
I
know the
don't know.
pandemic.
I don't know what happened. I think it was like I'm not sure what happened exactly. I think it wasn't really planned.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the whole pandemic really did throw things off. I mean, for everything. I was actually going to ask you now that you bring it up, how do you feel that COVID affected the music industry? Do you feel it? How do you feel it affected it?
Um, I would say that the live events, a lot of live events were suspended or canceled, and
Mm,
a lot of venues closed their doors because like nobody like uh, I mean nobody was allowed to had like a capacity, and they had to like suspend everything, and like
mm,
all the musicians and the labels had opportunities to host their own concerts from their home or
yes. Yeah. So I guess it kind of switched over to the online thing, which I guess in some ways is good, but in other ways probably isn't. Do you feel that it affected it negatively, the music industry, would you say, or just differently?
I guess just differently. And but the merchandise was, I guess the sales escalated. It's still a thing, and it's still very big today. And a lot of artists are still doing live streams and labels.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. I guess perhaps it made it a little bit more of a normal thing for people to be doing streaming more than they were before, I guess, right? I mean, that makes sense. So I guess in some ways it helped, in other ways it didn't. But the merch, that's good. I mean, it's always good to have the merch doing well. That definitely can't be a bad thing. So that's good. So you have your own record label, which of course I know, and it is called Mikan Records. So how long have you had your label? And was there a specific inspiration for the name Mikan?
Well, I mean, like when I first started my label, it was called Paul Starr Entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
and which is also my stage name. And like my artist thought it was all about me, and not for them. And then we had a meeting together, and like we decided to change the name to Making Records.
Mm.
And we threw on a few ideas, the names, um, animal names, in our language.
Yes,
And
yes.
then it landed Micken, which is a wolf.
I love that. Ow! I'm from Wolfville, Nova Scotia, so I'm all about the wolf, and I love that. And I'm actually very happy to say that I'm part of Mikan Records as well. So that's how you and I are tied in. So that's great. So how many artists do you have on the label? I don't think I even know this. You have to
Oh,
tell me. How many artists are on the label?
well, right now there's 12 of us,
Yeah.
including myself. There's another artist who recently signed as Casp, and CJ Gris has been with me since day one.
Mm,
Uh, Arrow, Slice, there's Visible, Nessa, Algonquin King, sorry.
yeah.
Uh, uh, Sofia Galani is from the UK.
Mm,
Ron Sherm is my brother who I'm living with.
mm,
Uh, Manawan is from the same community I'm from, and yourself, Shauna.
yes. That's how we know each other. Yeah. Well, what would you say? So now we're talking about that. What would you say is your particular style of music that you do?
I would say I'm more into alternative rock, pop, and for producing, it's mostly like hip hop, R&B, and
Mm,
and pop. I used to do country as well, and there was a guy who was in my label, and decide to go another organization.
right. It happens quite often in the music industry. It's just how it is, right?
Mhm.
Um, okay. Well, as a Cree artist, because you're a Cree artist, do you find that an advantage or a disadvantage in the music industry? Or would you say it doesn't really make that much of a difference? What do you think?
I would say the advantage, like where I'm from, it's like really, everyone knows each other, and
Mm,
it's really easy to plan something, and once they hear about it, and they go to the events, and I would say like there's a lot of funding,
mm,
for Cree artists, and disadvantage would probably be um, like right now, like it's still very small scale for Cree labels,
right.
and right now, like I'm trying to build something and still work with non-indigenous artists to, you know, break break into another market or something.
Absolutely. That makes sense. It's a good idea for sure. Okay, so as all of you know by now, we both know each other, Paul and I, and we've worked together on the label as well. So shall we tell them how we met first off? What do you
Uh,
think?
I was just gonna say, well, I started connecting with the with the different artists, and I received an invitation from you on LinkedIn,
Hmm, hmm.
and you introduced yourself, and you showed me your song. Then I listened to it. Then I got back to you. I was interested in working together.
Yeah, I think what song was it that you heard first of mine? I'm trying to remember.
It's called "Turn Up the Microphone."
Oh, right, turn up the microphone. Okay, that's the one. That's the one we do. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's the song that brought us together, working together, which is cool. Actually, I've said this on my show before. The song "Turn Up the Microphone" is actually the theme song of this show, Talk with Shauna. I use a clip of it, and the music video is actually on YouTube. You can see the rest of the music video. I'm going to show you a little clip of it today, but you can see the whole video on YouTube under Shauna Brown, and it's Turn Up the Microphone. So you can check that out on YouTube as well. And so I guess what I'd like the viewers to know is this: what does a typical day in the life of Paul Starr look like? Producer, manager, label owner. What would you say your day would look like?
Well, right now, it's all about networking with other professionals. Like you need to make contacts. Like you want to work with let's say like a manager, PR, public uh, relations specialist, and like you have to be connected with the radio,
Mm,
blogs. Um, yeah, it's pretty much what I have here.
yeah. So like maybe you can take your viewers through a day, like say in the studio. Like how would that work? I mean, does every day look the same or is it different? I mean, like if you were going to tell somebody how your day as what you do looks like. I know all of those things, of course, you have to do. You have to do the networking, you have to do all those things. But like, would you say it's the same kind of thing every day, or would you say it's every day is different? What do you think?
I would say every day is different. Um, when I meet with my artists, because right now, like, we're not in the same city. Like,
Mm,
everyone's either up north or another uh, province.
right,
Uh,
right.
yeah, everyone's kind of like follow me what the like what I do, and Casp is all the way in BC, and we talk, and he's busy with his motivational conferences, and and as an artist, you know, he's actually using my beats on his album.
Amazing. And let me tell you, viewers, he has some great beats. I'm using all beats from Paul Starr on my new album, which I'm recording right now. Check out his beats. They are amazing. Actually, where can we find your beats?
You can find my beats on my bio on my social medias.
Mm,
Well, P Napash on Instagram,
mm,
P Napash on Twitter, Paul
yeah,
Star Music on Facebook, Paul Star Music on TikTok. And
right.
also you can check out the website makinrecords.com.
Amazing. Amazing. So I want to know a little bit about more about you, about what you like. So do you have a favorite artist? I mean, I know that's a hard question, but do you have a favorite artist out there?
I have a few.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran, like, I really like his songwriting techniques and
Mm,
his musicianship. Justin Timberlake, he's a awesome vocalist and producer. Timbaland, I really love his beats,
mm,
and Tech Nine, as a hip hop artist. Like Eminem and Kendrick, they all have worked together.
amazing. Amazing. I thought you were going to say me. No, just joking. Shameless plug there. That's okay. No worries. No shame here. No shame here. Okay. So what what would you say is one of the best things about the music industry?
One of the best things about the music industry,
Mm,
you can easily take courses online,
mm,
either LinkedIn Learning, like they offer a lot of uh, marketing marketing courses about the music
mm,
industry. Uh, how to make beats, and like that's the new thing for me, and I'm actually planning beat making tutorials, with the organization, like, I'm working with.
mm. That's great. Sorry, tell me a little bit more about the organization that you're working with, if that's okay. Can you share that information with us? Do you mind?
Of
Yeah?
course.
Yeah, I'd
uh,
love to hear more about that.
it's called Taking It Global,
Mm,
and uh, Create to Learn is what the platform is called. They have a website and social media, and once they have my videos, they're gonna list them on their website and social media.
amazing, amazing. So you've got a lot of things going on. That's just really great. I'm sure everyone in from your back home where you're originally from must be very proud of you because you're doing really well. And I am proud to say that I am your friend and working with you too, which is great. And I look forward to us to keeping on with that. Um, so okay, so you've said a lot of the things that are good about the music industry. So what would you say is the worst aspect of music industry, if we had to say something?
Oh, the worst,
Mm,
worst things about the music industry is you have to watch out for industry sharks. You know, like there are a lot of people pretending to be A&R fakes, uh,
mm-hmm.
promotional services, or someone pretended to have worked at the Source magazine, asking me to send money through PayPal or Cash App or something similar. Like
Mm,
kind of throw me off, and just block them.
yeah, yeah. I have to agree with you on that. There is a lot of scams out there in the industry. That's for sure. That's for sure. Um, so I guess this is a good question. What advice would you give to someone who is interested in getting into the music industry? What advice would you give them?
I would say once you want to know how to get in the music industry, you start off like learn your instruments, start singing or take voice lessons, or study music business, and that's how
Mm,
you'll gain knowledge and the skill set. You can do that either online or go to college.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, what are you working on now? Do you have any? I know you're always busy. I know you personally. So, what are you working on right now? Do you have any upcoming projects? Explain a little bit about that.
Okay, sure. I've been working on my album called Bring It All Together, which is
Mm,
65% done. Like, I still need a few songs because I had an issue with my old MacBook. You know, it was just too slow to work on anything with heavy processing. You know, I wasn't able to really mix my songs properly. Like, it would slow down, and sometimes the plugins would crash.
oh no.
Yeah.
That wasn't quite the sound you were going for, I'm assuming, right?
Mhm.
The crashing down remix, I was like, no, not gonna happen, not good. Um, yeah, so okay, so you're working on that, and of course, as I have already divulged to everyone watching, we are working together as well. Paul did all the beats on my new album, which is called Love Frequency 528, which I'm currently recording right now. And all of the beats are from Paul. He's amazing. I really suggest all of you go check out his work. He's really great. Um, I'm curious actually. Are you looking for new artists for your label, or are you keeping it kind of tight? Like, what are your thoughts about that?
Right now, I'm just really very limited right now
Mm, mm, mm-hmm.
because there's not much funding that's put in, and
Yes.
we try to do things independently.
Yeah.
Then, you know, like by working with the other artists outside the label, like where they're already like successful, won multiple nominations and awards,
Yes.
and like everything we do together, everything's registered now, and like I'm gonna that's how I'm gonna generate income and like put in investment towards the label.
Right. Absolutely. Where what are your thoughts for the next few years? I mean, you did touch on where you're planning, what you're planning on doing, and where you're planning on going, and everything. What do you foresee in the next, say, 5 years for you? And I know I'm throwing you kind of a curveball here. I'm just asking you questions that you probably weren't expecting me to ask. But what would you say? I mean, where do you see your label being in 5 years, or your organization that you have right now?
Um, well, there's some business discussions with another label,
Hmm.
and the same guys I'm producing beats, for their new album.
Mm,
And right now, things are being discussed. Right now, I cannot like fully go into detail.
right. Okay. Gotcha.
Uh,
Gotcha.
but like working with people that already made it, and that's the best strategy for this label.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we all can attest to that, that it's always good to surround yourself with people that you can learn from constantly, right? And it's an ever growing thing that you're always learning. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's funny. You were saying that Casp actually, which you have on the label now, he's actually worked with Chaclair, right? As well, he did some things with Chaclair.
Yeah,
Very cool.
he does. Like, I mean, he have worked with Chino XL,
Hmm.
Run DMC, um,
Wow, Run
and
DMC, that's
and
amazing.
and a lot of other successful indigenous artists in
Mm.
Canada.
Hmm. Cool, cool. You were saying that you're a fan of Justin Timberlake, right? I love Justin Timberlake. I think he's
Hmm.
amazing. Um, do you have a favorite song of his?
One thing, I mean, one song that I really like is "What Comes Around." I think that's what it's called.
Yes, I know exactly what I love that the beat in that is so good.
I love
Right.
the harmonies, and like how the vocals are so smooth together.
Yeah, I love that. That's one of my favorites too, to be honest. And Scarlett Johansson's in the music video too, and the music video is really good too. Really
Hmm.
good. Um, Also, viewers, Paul is actually on one of my tracks too that's going to be coming out eventually. I believe it's still going to be called Out to Play by the time it comes out. But he's on the track with me. And so we've been working with each other for the last few years, and we plan on working on more music together, which is great. I encourage all of you to check out all of the work that Paul's been doing. He's been doing a lot of great things. Um, if you could tell our viewers, okay, so I know we touched on this a little bit earlier, but where
Hmm.
can we find you on social media?
Oh, okay. It's P Napash on Instagram,
Mm,
uh, like P Napash on Twitter, Paul Star Music on Facebook, and Paul Star Music on TikTok, and you can find the rest on Making Records.
right,
Dot
yes. And you know what, Paul, I feel like you are a very important piece. Well, first of all, of my career, you are, but also of this show, because the song Turn Up the Microphone, which initially of mine brought us together, is actually the theme song of this show, which you see a clip at the beginning and at the end. And so I feel like having you on the show makes so much sense. And I would love to have you on again. I know as things progress with both of our careers, I would love to have you on. We can discuss more things. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today. You are a huge asset to the music industry and to my career as well. I just can't wait to see what we're going to come up with in the next few years, months. I'm sure we'll be working together for a very long time. So once again, thank you so much for being on the show. I look forward to having you on again. And I would like to say one last thing to my viewers before we go. This is one thing I like to say at the end of all of my shows is this. Always remember, let the music live through you. And I live by those words. And I really feel like, Paul, you are doing that. And I just really look forward to having you on again. And thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate it too, and you're welcome. I really enjoyed this, and it's the first time I'm doing this in a while.
It's awesome. You'll be on again, Paul. You will.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. So thanks once again, everyone, for watching Talk with Shauna right here on the Fired Up Network, Female Empowerment Movement. So stay tuned for our next episode. Thanks so much. So, as promised, here is a clip of my music video for Turn Up the Microphone. You can follow me on YouTube. Uh, subscribe to my channel actually under Shauna Brown. So here is a clip of the music video, and you can see the full video on YouTube and subscribe to Shauna Brown. Here it is.